Daughter says, "Dad, can you just be here for me?" One simple request. Denied. A father's refusal that shocked millions. And behind it? A history of financial chaos that haunted the Brown family from day one. Tonight, we piece together the untold story of the sister wives' empire, a story of broken promises, financial collapse, and a daughter's heartbreaking plea after surgery. The refusal that wasn't just about one moment, but decades of struggle. Why would Kody turn his back on his own daughter, and why was the family broke even with TV fame?
Okay. Gosh.
I'm trying to do what's right for Isabel.
I understand. But we have to do what's right for the whole family, not just what Isabel needs. We can pretend that there is no
Part
pandemic.
1.
I'm not
One daughter. One simple request. And a father's shocking refusal that left millions of fans furious. Now, we dive deep into one of Sister Wives' most unforgettable moments, the moment Kody Brown said no when his daughter needed him most. This isn't just a story about a reality TV family. It's about loyalty, love, betrayal, and a decision that changed how America views the Browns forever. Why would a father deny his daughter, fresh out of surgery, something so small, yet so important? To understand the weight of this moment, we have to go back. The Sister Wives family has always been defined by tension: 4 wives, 1 husband, and children caught in between. Kody's relationship with his daughters, especially those outside of Robyn's household, has grown increasingly strained. But no one expected what happened after this surgery. Daughter asks, "Dad, can you just be here for me?" Kody, no. That's not how this works. For millions watching, it was the ultimate betrayal. A father refusing not money, not a mansion, not a car, but the smallest gesture of care, being present. What made Kody so cold? Why was this daughter singled out? And why did fans across America call this his lowest moment yet? The climax came when cameras rolled and fans saw it with their own eyes. Instead of compassion, Kody offered distance. Instead of comfort, he gave excuses. The twist? Many fans believe this wasn't about the daughter at all, but about Kody's battle with control, favoritism, and the fractures within the Sister Wives empire. Fan tweets, "I've never been so disgusted in my life. How could any parent refuse this? This is the moment I knew Kody wasn't a dad, just a man on TV." What began as a single refusal became a lightning rod for fan outrage. The internet exploded. Hashtags trended. And Sister Wives fans, many of them mothers and daughters themselves, saw their own pain reflected in this televised heartbreak. Critics point out that Kody's favoritism toward Robyn's children was on full display. Others see it as a symptom of the collapsing plural marriage structure. But one thing's certain: the damage to his reputation was irreversible. This moment became a symbol, not just of one family falling apart, but of how reality TV can expose raw, uncomfortable truths. Was this just Kody being stubborn, or was it something darker? The Sister Wives audience is not forgiving. For many, this single act erased years of loyalty to the show. Fans still talk about it today, calling it one of the most humiliating, heartbreaking, and unforgettable reality TV moments of all time. But now, we want to hear from you. Was Kody justified, or was this the ultimate betrayal? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't hold back. Like if you stand with the daughter. Because in the end, Sister Wives isn't just a show. It's a mirror into the choices that define us as parents, as families, and as human beings. Part 2. Behind the cameras, behind the polygamous glamour, was a family drowning in debt. Fans saw the smiling faces, the kids running around, the wives adjusting to life together. But few realized the truth. The Browns were broke, and their financial chaos almost destroyed everything before it began. How could a family with a hit reality show end up struggling to pay bills? And why were the Browns living paycheck to paycheck even as America tuned in to watch their every move? Now, we uncover the shocking reasons the Brown family lived on the edge of financial collapse long before fame, and long before the cracks in their relationships showed. To understand the Browns' money problems, we have to rewind to the beginning. Long before Sister Wives premiered in 2010, Kody Brown was juggling one income and multiple households. He worked in sales, but with 4 wives, dozens of kids, and mounting expenses, the math never added up. Each wife wanted her own space, her own independence, and of course, her own household budget. That meant multiple rents, mortgages, utility bills, and food costs. For most families, raising 2 or 3 kids is a challenge. For the Browns? It was 18 children and no steady financial plan. So where did all the money go? The shocking truth is, the Browns' lifestyle was never sustainable even before TLC cameras showed up. Fans later learned that Janelle, not Kody, was often the real financial backbone of the family. She worked full-time and handled budgeting. Meanwhile, Kody spent more time managing relationships than managing money. Add in healthcare, cars for teenagers, school costs, and basic groceries, and the numbers spiraled out of control. The Browns were forced into credit card debt, borrowing from friends, and living constantly under financial pressure. Was this financial chaos by accident, or by Kody's design? And did TLC save the Browns, or trap them in debt forever? The climax came when Sister Wives hit TV. Fans assumed the Browns were suddenly wealthy. But behind the scenes, their paychecks from TLC barely covered expenses. Split among 4 wives, a husband, and nearly 20 kids, the income was stretched to the breaking point. The twist? Many believed the Browns stayed broke not because they didn't earn money, but because Kody and the wives kept expanding their lifestyle. More homes, more moves, more pressure to look successful on TV even when the bank account said otherwise. Fan tweet: I remember thinking, how can they afford 4 houses? Turns out, they couldn't. This was doomed from the start. No one can raise that many kids without drowning in debt. The revelation shocked fans. Instead of the picture-perfect plural marriage, viewers saw what many mothers across America recognized: financial exhaustion, stretched resources, and the silent pain of trying to make it work while the bills piled higher and higher. Analysts say the Brown family's early financial struggles reflected deeper issues: a lack of planning, Kody's leadership failures, and the crushing weight of trying to live multiple middle-class lifestyles at once. Over time, money became one of the biggest cracks in the Sister Wives empire, pushing wives away and fueling resentment. Fans still point to those early years as the start of the end. Did the Browns' financial collapse plant the seeds for every divorce, every fight, and every heartbreak that followed? Looking back, fans now see the Browns' money struggles as both relatable and heartbreaking. Many mothers watching knew exactly what it felt like to stretch a dollar until it broke. But when Kody ignored financial reality, it wasn't just the bank accounts that collapsed, it was the family itself. From broke beginnings to broken marriages, the Browns' financial downfall is a cautionary tale America will never forget. Like if you think the Browns never planned ahead. Comment your opinion. Was Kody reckless or just overwhelmed? Because in the end, Sister Wives wasn't just about love. It was about survival. And survival always comes with a cost. Let's deep dive in full details. Part 3. To understand Kody's coldness, we need to rewind back to the early years when the Browns were already fighting to survive. Janelle worked full-time, balancing spreadsheets. Christine stretched grocery money, feeding 10 mouths with bulk rice and beans. Meri took extra jobs to keep the lights on. 18 children, 4 households, and 1 paycheck. Fans never knew how deep the struggle went until it spilled onto the screen. But what happens when financial pressure mixes with fractured love? Years later, one moment crystallized all that pain. A daughter, fragile after surgery, needed comfort. But Kody, instead of stepping up, refused. It wasn't money this time. It wasn't a mansion or a car. Just presence. Just love. But Kody's no carried the weight of years of neglect and favoritism. Reddit voiceovers. This was the moment I turned off the show. Unforgivable. He had one job, be a dad. And he failed. Why deny something so simple? Was it stubborn pride or something darker? Critics argue Kody's refusal wasn't about the surgery at all. It was about money, control, and the resentment brewing for years. The Browns weren't just broke in the early years. They stayed broke because every decision dug the hole deeper. Did the Browns sacrifice love for a lifestyle? And was this refusal the moment it all came crashing down? The twist? This wasn't about one daughter. It was about all of them. Kody's refusal symbolized decades of imbalance between wives, between children, between love and loyalty. For fans, it was confirmation of what they always feared. Kody's heart had long been elsewhere. And the family's early financial struggles weren't just about dollars, they were about value. Who mattered and who didn't? When money runs out, does love follow? The backlash was immediate. Facebook groups exploded. YouTube flooded with reaction videos. Fans said this was Kody's lowest moment, not just a financial failure, but a moral one. We mothers would give anything to sit by our child's bed. How could he not? This proves that Robyn's kids get one father, the rest get excuses. The Browns became a cautionary tale not just about polygamy, but about family, responsibility, and the hidden cost of chasing an impossible dream. Looking back, the Browns story reads like a tragedy in 3 parts: broke beginnings, emotional betrayals, and a refusal that broke America's heart. Kody thought he was protecting his family, but fans believe he exposed the truth. When money runs thin and love runs thinner, what's left? The Browns weren't just broke in their wallets. They were broke in their bond. And that's the price no paycheck, not even TLC, could ever fix. Behind the cameras, each wife carried her own financial burdens. Janelle became the breadwinner, working full-time and handling budgets while others stayed home. Christine, often called the basement wife, stretched every dollar, buying bulk rice, beans, and frozen goods to feed a dozen mouths. Meri worked extra jobs, quietly carrying guilt when her paycheck didn't cover the basics. And Robyn, arriving later, brought her own debts, which only added more weight to the already sinking ship. 4 women, 4 different survival strategies, but only one collapsing bank account. Financial stress was only half the story. In Utah, where polygamy lived in the shadows, the Browns faced constant fear of prosecution. Every move, every dollar, had to be hidden. Relocation costs piled up, secrecy forced them to pay double for housing, and their faith demanded large families, no matter the cost. What looked like choice was often survival under the law. How do you build stability when the law itself says your family shouldn't exist? Fans didn't just watch, they judged, debated, and rallied online. On Reddit, one viewer wrote, "I'm a mom of 3, and I can barely afford groceries. How did they expect to feed 18? On Facebook, thousands shared posts calling Kody's refusal after surgery the lowest moment in reality TV history. And YouTube reaction channels lit up with breakdowns, some sympathetic, others furious. The Browns weren't just a TV family anymore. They were a cultural talking point. When viewers feel betrayed, the backlash can outlast the show itself. The hospital room scene lasted seconds on TV, but in the minds of viewers, it replayed endlessly. The daughter's hand trembled, reaching out. Kody's eyes narrowed, hesitation painted across his face. Silence hung heavy. And then the refusal. Replay it in slow motion, and the weight becomes unbearable. The request was so small, but the rejection cut like a knife. For many fans, this wasn't just television. It mirrored their own experiences with absent fathers or broken promises. Sometimes the smallest words, or the lack of them, become the loudest betrayal. Let's break down the Browns' financial roller coaster. In 2010, when Sister Wives premiered, TLC's paycheck looked huge, but divided by 24 people, the numbers shrank. By 2012, the family faced 4 mortgages in Las Vegas. By 2015, Robyn's legal marriage and house purchase put more strain on shared finances. And by 2020, as separations began, each wife's household carried its own debts. What fans saw as reality TV wealth was in reality a financial treadmill they could never step off. The more famous they became, the poorer they felt. Sociologists argue large families in America often struggle with what's called resource dilution. Every child divides the pie thinner. Add in multiple households, secrecy due to polygamy laws, and unstable income, and collapse becomes almost inevitable. For the Browns, fame didn't fix it. It magnified it. What should have been financial security through television turned into a race against their own growing expenses. Now, place the images side by side, Christine cooking giant meals on a tiny budget, stacks of unpaid bills, Kody refusing his daughter's simple plea, and finally, the wives walking away one by one. In slow montage, the story writes itself: broke beginnings, broken promises, and a father's refusal that symbolized it all. Was the real collapse about money or about love? Now we ask you, was Kody's refusal a father's mistake or the final proof of a broken man? Should money, faith, or love come first? Your voice matters. Tell us in the comments. Like if you believe children come first. Subscribe for more deep Sister Wives truth. Share this video if you've ever had to fight through financial hardship. You're not alone. Because Sister Wives isn't just reality TV. It's a mirror reflecting our choices, our sacrifices, and our failures. And in the end, every refusal, every dollar, every decision tells a story. This was theirs.